Hello Year 7, this is just a quick video to help you plan for your spring assessment. Now your teacher would have set for you your homework, which is to actually get ready for your assessment. And one of the things that you have to do for the assessment is kind of revise the vocabulary that you have in your homework. Now the first one actually has been done as a bit of a match exercise, and these words are terms that are actually not correctly matched. So the first thing that you do need to do is you do need to match them. And in this video, what we've done is just to make sure that you've got the correct ones. So then when you are revising, you can revise the correct terms to go together. So I'm just putting numbers next to them so that it makes it easier. And these are the techniques that you've been looking in terms at looking at structure of narratives. And then you've also got your typical language techniques like verbs, adjectives, nouns. Now those ones are fine, okay? Now, so for example, if I look at what I have here, I might look at words that I know. So when we look at structure, we've looked at flashbacks. Now, flashback is a moment that goes back in time. So I'm going to put that there. So that's number 2. A tense moment that has not concluded. So a tense moment that has not concluded. That's at the end. So that is a cliffhanger. So I'm going to put number A for that. Establishes character settings, beginning of the narrative. That's an introduction. So I'm going to put that one there. Oh no, sorry, there, 4. Now, next one, a subtle hint that signals something happening later. That is foreshadowing, so that's number 5. Events are written in the order that they happen, so that's chronological order, so that's number 6. The ending, so where's the ending? Conclusion, that is number 3. Climb, so I've got the opposite entities, 2 opposite entities, so that's contrast, number 1. A moment of heightened tension, that's your climax, number 7. Now, one of the things that we want you to do is we want you to memorize what these words mean, these techniques, and you might want to do this by creating kind of flashcards. So if I was creating flashcards for these terms, I might put the word contrast on one side, so I'll do contrast. And then on the other side, I would write the definition. So what was the definition? 2 opposite entities being described. So 2 opposite entities being described. Now, sometimes we might give you definitions that the words within the definitions you may not be sure of. So one of the things that I always recommend, if you're not sure of words, for example, so I've got my phone here, I'll go onto my browser and I'll look at the word opposite. So I'll put opposite, opposite. So let's see, what is an opposite? If it wants to work today, the internet's not very good. So let's see what an opposite is. It says situated on the other or further side when seen from a specified or implicit viewpoint. So a crowd gathered on the opposite side. So it's about facing face to face. So like something that is on an opposing or on across from or not on the same side. So you've got 2 things that are opposite, and then you've got the word entity. And again, this might be a word that's a bit challenging. It's an unusual word, so I'm going to put entities, and let's see what it says that entities are. Entities meaning. I tend to look at what it means. I know that you won't be able to see it very well because of the light, but it says a thing with a distinct or independent existence. So you've got a church or empire were fused into a single entity, so one thing. So I've got words like existence, being, alive. So entity must be a thing, okay? So something that has got a exists in general. So it's 2 things that are on separate positions and that they exist, and that is what contrast is doing. So contrast is writing about 2 opposite entities being described. Now I might then do another flashcard and I'll do another word. I might put the word flashback, and then I write the definition on the other side. A moment that goes back in time. Now, sometimes the other thing that I like to do when I'm revising, just to remember things, is I like to add pictures with it. So, for example, I might do it with this one and with contrast. Now, if a contrast is two opposite things, I might put one person here, and then I'm going to put another person here. But it needs to be contrast, so it needs to be opposite. So this person is going to have, I don't know, they're going to feel happy, and this person is going to feel sad. So that would create a contrast. Okay, so that's two opposite things. Now, if I was doing flashback, I might draw a picture for flashback, and I might just do an arrow actually. A flashback is going back in, and I'm going to put a clock back in time. Okay, so sometimes adding pictures as well helps you kind of do your revision of what different words mean. Now, the next bit of your homework in terms of preparing for this assessment, not only are you going to be tested on these words, but also it's about making sure that you prepare for the actual question that you have to write something a bit longer for. So for this assessment, you're going to answer the following question using the Cuckoo's Calling extract. So you've got there. Now, the Cuckoo Calling extract is in the booklet as well. Okay, so if you turn the page over, you can see that there. And it says, how does the writer use language and structure in the text to interest you as a reader? Now, one of the things that we're looking for you to do here is to actually plan what language techniques are being used. So maybe one paragraph about one language technique, and then one paragraph about structure. So you kind of read in the source and getting ready before the assessment, and you can kind of memorize the techniques that you found and the structure that you think is appropriate for the text. Now, for language, one of the things that we would recommend here is that you try to revise three techniques that have been that you can find. And those can be maybe similes, metaphors, adjectives, nouns, anything like that. Those are the things that you're looking for here. So I'm just going to put here similes, adjectives, just to get you started, etc. Now, for structure, you're looking at the text. So how has it been structured? Is it chronological? Is it non-chronological? What does the writer switch between? So like, how is the beginning, or what does the beginning focus on? And what does that change to? So you want to look at the way that the text has been structured to engage you. Have they used a cliffhanger? Are they zooming in on different things at different times? Now, if you plan, a few ideas here, you maybe even practice one, and then on the day of the assessment, you'll be tested on those two. Okay? I hope you find this helpful, Year 7. Good luck with your assessment.